Alrighty, good morning. It's finally Evo day, so I'm just gonna go head down to the shed and finally go over this thing. Okay, so the Evo is now in the shed. The chase has been evicted. Some interesting stuff on this Evo. So judging by this title of the video, you may be wondering what's wrong with this thing. Now, I've got it here and it is not legal. So it failed compliance. This is an importer's probably worst nightmare. So this has been flagged at the border for underbody rust. No good. Did I know about it when I had it in Japan? No, I thought this car was bloody immaculate. I mean, look at it. Would you think this thing has rust? We also climbed underneath it when we got there, and the underbody looked like so good. Couldn't fault it. Thought I got an immaculate car, and for the most part, it is. Yeah, for those that aren't in New Zealand or don't really know much about importing, basically once a car's imported into New Zealand, you have to get it complied, which is like a big safety check to make sure, inspection to make sure it's safe to be on New Zealand roads. It's a very thorough check. They go over everything. Yeah, my chaser went straight through, but this thing hasn't. Instead of trying to climb on the ground here, I put it up on the hoist at my work and I recorded it, so I'll show that clip now. So here's the underbody, which I don't think is too bad at all. These Evos are prone to rust. This is common. Keep in mind this is a 20-year-old car as well. Other countries like UK and the US and stuff, they'd probably consider this as immaculate, because I've seen other YouTubers and there's it rusted to shit and they still call it clean. So there's a bit of surface rust here and there. Front radiator support and everything is like pretty good. Tiny bit of surface rust, but nothing excessive. So this is one of the bad parts. Still not that bad. Just needs a good tidy up. And here is one of the major parts on the chassis rail. And this is the worst part right here, which still isn't too bad. It's fixable, easily fixable, which is what I'm going to get done. But for the most part, it's pretty damn good. Everything's straight, no dents or anything in the sills or chassis rails. So yeah, it's not actually that bad. There's only two major spots on the rear chassis rails that are going to have to be cut out, welded up, blah blah blah. So when the car got complied, they quoted me $8,000 to fix it, just the rust alone, and that's why I was like, no thank you, and quickly went and got it. So I bring it back here to Gisborne and showed the panel beater, sorted out the repair cert and everything, and I only got quoted like $1,000. So why they charge so much in Auckland, I do not know, but I'm pretty happy with that, because it was kind of getting to the stage of, is it worth fixing it? You can quickly go from making money on the car, importing it, to losing money. So all going well, it shouldn't be too major. I'm just gonna have to pull the whole rear end apart, the subframe and everything, and so the panel beaters can get in there and fix it. So yeah, I don't think it's too major. Yeah, I'll do all that part of it, pulling the rear end out just to make it cheaper, and then all they have to do is fix the rust. But yeah, when they called me at the when the compliance centre called me and said about the rust, he was saying, oh, it's real bad kind of thing, and I was like, hey, you sure? Like, I checked underneath it and I thought it was quite good. And he was saying, nah, it's probably not worth fixing it, blah blah blah, you might want to sell the car as is. And after he said that, I was like, oh shit. He was making it out like the whole car was falling apart underneath and the whole thing was rusted out to shit, but as you can see from that clip, it's not actually that bad. So yeah, anyway, I'll sort that out and we should be on the home straight to getting it complied and legal. We will get that done, and all the other stuff was pretty minor, I thought. Was it replace all rotors and pads? That's easy. Engine mount. What else was there? Needs a cert for the suspension. I don't know what that says. Yeah, suspension modification. Now that kind of annoyed me because I specifically put stock springs in this for that reason, so it could go straight through compliance, and they're trying to say they're not factory. These are out of Tommy Mac RS, so they're like, they come stock in the Tommy Mac, but they've got like an adjustable dampening valve on them. So for that reason they said they were aftermarket, which is a bit annoying, but whatever, I'll just put some stock ones in. What else was there? Remove play front wheels, so just needs new wheel bearings on the front, that's easy. Seatbelt frayed, I've already got that, I already knew about that. Fog light, this fog light's broken, need a new one if anyone's got one. Park lights, and it's got HRDs, I need to remove the HRDs, once again easy. Rust underbody, so already talked about that. Replace wipers and handbrake travel, so all that stuff is easy. The only difficult thing is the rust, and it's not that bad. So I already replaced the wiper blades, genuine wiper blades. That's some Tommy Ifya spec there. I'll get there, it's nothing too major. Surprisingly, I've actually had the car back here for like nearly a month now, but I haven't done or shown anything on it because I've just been trying to save up to fix that rust. So within the next week, hopefully, I'll pull the rear end out and then I'll get it to the panel beaters somehow and they can make a start on it. Shouldn't take long, and then I just need to put it back together and take it back to Auckland, which is the shit thing. I've got to do the trip I just done and go all the way back up there to get the compliance done and come all the way back. But there's no other option. That's the joys of living here in Gisborne, unfortunately. So yeah, other than that, it looks good. I noticed a few things must have happened during shipping, like the side skirt clips, whether that was going on a hoist or going on the ship or something. Just a few small things like that have come off. And the other thing I wanted to do is give this thing a nice proper detail, because like from here it looks bloody good. Well, it is, but it's got so much potential in the paint. Like when you get up close you can see oxidization and quite a few scratches. So yeah, it's need to cut the whole thing and polish it, and it should look 10 times better than it already does. Like even now it looks good, there's no doubt about it. It's just, yeah, black's such a hard color, and I'm also a bit worried, I'm no detailer, but yeah, black's such a hard color to detail as well. Otherwise, if you don't do it right, you just got swirl marks everywhere and it looks crap. Oh, and the other thing, my cluster's still not working. I was very lucky that it was working when it went through compliance, but as soon as I got it, it stopped working again. I do have another one that I got sent from Japan, but that's also not working. It's just like the connections, I'll take it out. See, they're not actually like clips that plug in, they just sit in it, and obviously it's not getting the proper connection. It's intermittently working. I've tried greasing it up, like playing around with the connections and stuff, and it didn't really make a difference. So I don't really know what the fix is for this. 2 clusters and they're both not working, so maybe someone else knows that's got an Evo that's had a similar problem. A few things in the engine bay that need sorting. You would have noticed this broke over in Japan when we were there, and it's just blocked off now, so I need another fitting for that. Priced that up and it was like $500, $400 or something. You have to buy the whole thing, you can't just buy the fitting there, the plastic fitting that broke off. So I think the best bet's probably going to be to machine one up and actually just like glue it in there or something. But yeah, other than that, it's not too shabby. Blitz Radiator, this looks pretty cool. One of the things I like the most about this, which I thought was pretty cool for it to come with, is these carbon strut braces, front and rear. I'd say these would be worth quite a bit. But yeah, it just needs a general tidy up. But first things first, I just need to get it legal so I can drive it and then go from there. I'm not really sure what the plans are with it. I can't really afford to spend money on it. Obviously the drift car's still there, that needs to be finished, which that's going to be put on the back burner now because I need to spend my money on this. And yeah, I've done one drift event this year and I'm probably not going to be driving again for the rest of the year. I'm just not going to be able to finish that car anytime soon now, unfortunately. So yeah, that's what it is. Also, something I didn't notice when we were over there, it's actually got this Hks Exhaust. It's got the tag there and everything. So yeah, it's got a few goodies. I think it's still got the cat in it, which I'll probably delete after I get it complied, just in case it makes it too loud. For the most part, it's a bloody tidy Evo. Besides the rust issue, I'm still pretty happy with it. That's the hard thing about importing cars, you never know. When it was checked over in Japan, had a decent look under it, but where that rust is, it's a bit difficult to see. It's kind of in a hidden spot. And it also wasn't on the auction sheet. Never knew the rust was there, so I don't know, it's just one of those things. That's one of the risks you take buying a car from Japan. Win some, you lose some. There's a bit I had to say about this, but I've forgotten most of it. So yeah, wow. I just done a whole video talking. I never thought I'd see the day. Apologies, but kind of had to, otherwise people just constantly ask questions and it starts to get a bit annoying. But anyway, next video I'll be pulling the subframe and everything out, so stay tuned for that. Sorry it wasn't too interesting, but that's about it. And if you're new, subscribe and like this video, would appreciate it. So catch you later.